right now on 5 on your side at 10.
One more frosty night for some of us. The wet and warmer pattern that develops as we head towards the weekend and how that might impact your plans.
One-way masking. Does it protect you from getting COVID? We verify. But first, our top story. Grieving parents speak out for the first time after their son's fatal fall from an amusement park ride.
It just made me numb and helpless because I wasn't there to protect my son.
Fighting for accountability tonight, the parents of 14-year-old Tyre Sampson are now turning their pain into legal action. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon has the emotional reaction from the teen's grieving mother and father. Brent.
Mike and Tyre Sampson's mother spoke from St. Louis. His father spoke from the scene of his son's death in Florida. Both say their son's death should now be the catalyst for change.
Looking at a memorial at Icon Park in Florida, 14-year-old Tyre Sampson's father is just trying to take it all in. An emotional gasp for breath Tuesday as Yarnell Sampson addressed his son's death a month after he fell from the world's tallest freestanding drop tower.
It just made me numb and helpless because I wasn't there to protect my son.
He says he heard about the incident after watching a video on the internet. At the time, he had no clue it was his own son.
Imagine you lose an honor roll student, 14-year-old child that was a straight-A student, went to school, did everything you told him to do, and had no problems doing it.
With prominent attorney Benjamin Crump by his side, Sampson vowed to fight for accountability. So is the teen's mother.
I was expecting to see my son return to me the same way he walked out my door.
A 65-page wrongful death lawsuit the family filed this week claims negligence and product liability. Attorneys say the ride had a harness but did not have a seat belt as an additional layer of protection. They say that seat belt would have only cost $22.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So it's like you didn't want to miss $1, but you stripped me of my son. So yeah, it's disgusting.
It's senseless that a child got to lose their life trying to have fun.
The North St. Louis County teen was a football player who was expected to make it big. His father says there was much more to him than sports.
Forget the part about him being a 5-star athlete, left tackle, prime position. We ain't gonna talk about that part. Let's talk about the 4.0 intellectual that he could have been. He could have been a doctor, a lawyer, a scholar, an astronaut.
All right, I just checked Icon Park's Twitter page. The company has not posted anything about this situation since it happened. Last month, the park said it is cooperating with authorities regarding a different company called the Slingshot Group, which owned and operated the ride.
Within the last hour, we learned the man accused of leading Chicago police on a 70-mile chase with a stolen ambulance was headed here to St. Louis. Chicago police say Benjamin Harrington stole the ambulance yesterday afternoon. He then led police on a chase down I-55. Officers arrested him after he blew a tire. Harrington's mother, who lives in the St. Louis area, told a Chicago TV station that her son has mental health issues and he was trying to get to her.
A cab driver murdered by 2 teenagers outside Hazelwood Central High School. Tonight, the victim's daughter spoke only to our Pepper Baker. She joins us now to share what they had to say. Pepper.
Yes, Mike, Dwight Price has 4 daughters, 5 grandchildren, his mother, sisters, and countless cousins grieving his loss here in St. Louis. I sat down this evening with his 4 daughters who were kind enough to tell me about their dad, despite having just found out last night that he was murdered.
Daughter, dear.
4 daughters in North County are left without a father after police confirmed 54-year-old Dwight Price was shot and killed on Sunday.
A lot of emotions, anger, confusion, heartbreak, a lot of emotions.
Around 6:30 Sunday morning, Price, who was a cab driver, picked up 2 18-year-olds, Jeremiah Allen and Tywan Harris, both from Florissant. St. Louis County Police reported that during the ride, the teenagers tried to get money from Price and ended up shooting and killing him. Police found Price inside the cab in the Hazelwood Central High School parking lot.
We literally just found out yesterday, after we had just been living our lives.
His family saw social media posts about it on Monday. Price's oldest daughter, Kirsten Spears, ID'd him at the medical examiner's office. She says he had an infectious personality.
Fun, bold.
A protector.
Absolutely. Hardworking, outgoing. He was just a great guy, a very great guy.
Price's main job was in construction. He drove cabs as a side job for the last 10 years.
Never been a concern of ours. And it's just unfortunate that it happened, and he just picked up the wrong passengers.
Now his family is left in disbelief that a senseless act by others leaves them without a loved one.
Don't take from honest people who work hard, who get up early in the morning to make sure that, they can provide a life for their family or themselves. Like, he was just awesome, hardworking. Like, he didn't deserve this at all.
The teenagers face second-degree murder and armed criminal action charges. Both are being held without bond.
Pepper, thanks. After months of investigation, OSHA is ordering Amazon to make immediate changes following a deadly tornado that destroyed a warehouse in Edwardsville. The agency issued a hazard alert letter saying the company's severe weather emergency procedures met minimal federal safety guidelines. The report also states improvements are needed to better protect workers. 6 contractors were killed and others were hurt in the December tornado. Amazon is currently facing 3 lawsuits.
Fallout tonight, less than 24 hours after the Missouri House passed a bill limiting what sports teams transgender high school athletes can compete on. Our Robert Townsend has the reaction.
One day after Missouri's GOP-led House gave the nod, 2 MU student organizations protested against the bill.
It sends a poor message to the trans community as a whole.
34-year-old Michaela Kramer is the administrative assistant at Metro Trans Umbrella Group. The grassroots trans-focused organization has been in St. Louis for 9 years. Michaela says she played ice hockey until her senior year in high school and came out as transgender 3 years ago. She says the transgender sports bill is a step in the wrong direction.
Frankly, I think it's kind of disgusting that they are focusing and picking on trans youth.
The House passed the bill Monday night in a vote of 93 to 41. It would require transgender high school students to compete on teams that match the sex on their birth certificates. Representative Ron Copeland sponsored it.
What is my daughter supposed to do when she's playing against a 6'4" transgender male in a sport? That just concerns me. That is the gist of why I brought this amendment forward. I definitely understand, gentlemen.
Currently, transgender girls are already prohibited from competing on girls' teams unless they're undergoing hormone therapy. Critics say at a time when the suicide rate is 4 times higher among transgender teens compared to their peers, a bill like this would only further hurt those kids.
This could be death for trans youth that are not allowed to play sports.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
The bill is now heading to the Missouri Senate.
The race is on to get a new state budget for Missouri passed. Just a few hours ago, the state Senate approved a $46 billion spending package. It differs from the plan the House passed earlier this month, which left billions of dollars in surplus funding unspent. Senators want to use some of that money on local projects and public school busing. Both sides have a little more than a week to hash out a deal.
Honored for their heroism, first responders in North St. Louis County were recognized for going beyond the call of duty. Among those honored, the 3 paramedics from Christian Hospital who were crucial in saving the life of a St. Louis City police officer who was shot while pursuing a homicide suspect. Today marks 3 months since that shooting. It nearly took the lives of St. Louis police officer Colin Ledbetter and his partner Nathan Spies.
New tonight, the 2 sat down with our Christine Byers just hours ago to talk about their recoveries.
Laughter. It's a little piece of normalcy officers Nathan Spies and Colin Ledbetter treasure, especially with their fellow officers in the city's 6th district.
It's been a while. You hero, you.
It's a moment many feared might not ever happen. Both men were shot January 26th after chasing a car connected to a homicide.
I have no recollection at all of that day. I actually lost memory back to last summer.
Spies remembers everything. Rods and pins now hold his left leg together.
At first, I said a prayer for myself. Forgive me of my sins or any wrongdoings I have, just in case it would happen to be my time too. And then after that, I just started praying the Hail Mary.
Speece and Ledbetter crammed into the same ambulance.
I wanted the medics to know, don't worry about me as much, focus on Colin.
Ledbetter had no pulse and no heartbeat.
The question wasn't really, how is he doing? It was more so, is he alive?
Ledbetter had 8 surgeries.
I know that one of them was just strictly to reroute my femoral artery. And then they also cracked my chest here to massage my heart to get it to start going again.
Ledbetter quickly started defying the odds.
It's really weird to see yourself on a video and not remember that. It was very loopy.
Speece could tell when Ledbetter started texting him.
You told him that you were going to sneak out of the hospital and be back at 12 p.m. the next day and not to tell anyone.
Speece was at Ledbetter's side when he actually did walk out of the hospital. So were the paramedics and doctors who saved his life.
I know it was overwhelming.
There's nothing we can really say or do that can express our gratitude and appreciation for communities, our families, friends, even strangers we've never met before.
Both officers said they couldn't wait to get back to the station.
I can't imagine them watching me get loaded into the back of an ambulance like that and then having to go back and do the same thing the next day. I think it's important for both sides, me and them, to get a sense of normalcy back into everyone's life.
And to laugh together again. Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Speece has returned to light duty. Ledbetter hopes to do so soon. To learn about their mental health recovery, you can read Christine's report at KSDK.com.
Field of nightmares. Little leaguers duck for cover. The message to those who got into a gun battle just feet away from their game. Masking? It's now a one-way street. Our Verify team looks into whether it's enough to protect the most vulnerable from COVID.
Grab the covers for those plants for one more night east and south of St. Louis where frost is possible. We are tracking rain arriving later this week and its impact on your weekend plans.
Caught on camera, a Little League game in South Carolina came to a sudden and scary end when several gunshots rang out nearby.
We want to warn you, you might find this video disturbing. The young players hit the ground. Some ran to the dugout. Kids were heard crying as adults screamed to take cover.
I heard my coach say, get down, so I just got down. And I was really scary.
When you see children diving on the ground, out here playing baseball, it's not going to be tolerated.
Police say the gunfire came from a nearby parking lot where 2 groups started firing at each other. A $10,000 reward is being offered in the case.
State health officials in Illinois are warning parents about a rise of severe hepatitis cases affecting young children. The state is reporting 3 potential cases, 2 in Chicago and 1 in western Illinois. It's believed the cases are linked to a common cold virus known as adenovirus. Health officials are asking doctors to be on the lookout for symptoms which include fever, fatigue, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, dark urine, light-colored stools, joint pain, and jaundice. Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt was front and center at the U.S. Supreme Court today. The High Court heard arguments on the Remain in Mexico program, the Trump-era policy to turn migrants away at the border because of COVID-19. President Joe Biden wants to end it next month. More than 20 states have filed lawsuits to stop the White House, including Missouri.
The Biden administration's level of lawlessness and how they've handled these issues is staggering, and that's why we've been victorious before at the lower court, why we're back here today.
In a separate challenge, a federal judge in Louisiana blocked the Biden administration from ending the program.
Tonight, the White House is standing by its COVID protocols after Vice President Kamala Harris tested positive for the virus.
We have a very, very contagious variant out there. It is going to be hard to ensure that no one gets COVID in America. That's not even a policy goal. The goal of our policies should be, obviously, minimize infections whenever possible, but to make sure people don't get seriously ill.
The vice president, who is vaccinated and boosted, is not showing any symptoms, but is self-isolating. The lifting of the mask mandate on planes and public transportation is fueling concerns on social media for immunocompromised passengers. Our Verify team looked into whether wearing a mask can help protect you from getting COVID-19, even if nobody else is wearing one. Here's Ariane Detil.
Masks aren't required on flights within the U.S. after a federal judge struck down the CDC's nationwide mask mandate covering public transportation. But that might change since the Department of Justice is appealing the decision at the request of the CDC. In a statement on April 20th, the CDC said it continues to recommend that all people wear masks in indoor public transportation settings, like on planes and buses. But for now, you can go maskless, which has led some people on social media to express concerns for themselves and immunocompromised passengers. So let's verify. Can wearing a mask help protect you from getting COVID-19, even if others aren't wearing one? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 3M, a manufacturer of masks and medical supplies, and a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. According to 3M, not all masks offer the same level of protection from COVID. The CDC says cloth masks provide the least protection. Well-fitting disposable surgical masks and KN95s offer more protection, and well-fitting N95s offer the highest level of protection for wearers and those around them. 3M says N95 masks, quote, can help protect you while you breathe in, unquote, while cloth or single-use surgical masks are, quote, more about helping protect those around you as you talk, cough, or sneeze, unquote. Studies have shown that a high-quality mask offers the wearer protection against COVID, even if others aren't wearing them. One European study, published in December of 2021, measured the risk of COVID-19 infection between two people, one infected and one not, based on the length of exposure and the type of mask worn. The study found that surgical masks provide some protection against infection, but that the N95 type masks offered the most protection. So we can verify, yes, wearing a high-quality mask can help protect you from getting COVID-19, even if others aren't wearing them. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Detil.
What can we verify for you? To get in contact with our team, text the word verify to 314-425-5355.
Well, May is right around the corner, but Old Man Winter is just hanging on. We're going to have another frost advisory tonight, Scott.
Time to go.
Yeah, he's a grumpy old man at this point.
Yes.
What have we done to deserve this? So you're looking out in St. Charles right now, 45 degrees. Now, this morning in St. Charles, you had some frost. It was in the mid-30s. We're going to see temperatures west of St. Louis start to trend upward during the wee hours tomorrow morning. They'll drop a few more degrees, but that's where the winds are turning more to the south. We have temperatures in the mid-40s now east and south of St. Louis. And here's the important point. We have dry air, clear skies, and very little in the way of wind. These are the type of nights where you get chilly. The dew point's 33. So we would expect temperatures to drop into the 30s, and especially east and southeast of St. Louis. We're thinking mid-30s, maybe even a few spots close to freezing. This is Potosi, Farmington, St. Genevieve, over towards Sparta, Pinckneyville, into Nashville, Illinois. Right now you're looking over in O'Fallon, Illinois. Yes, you are covered by that frost advisory. Still 49 degrees right now over in O'Fallon, but you'll drop to about 36, 37 tomorrow morning. Frost advisories generally along the Mississippi and east, and then across parts of southeast Missouri. So once again, if you're in those areas and you recently planted some, good stuff in the garden, things you don't want to lose, tomatoes, peppers, maybe some pretty nice impatiens. If they're away from the house, especially out in the open anywhere, they really do need to be covered with cloth, fabric, or paper. You don't want to use plastic. And then tomorrow morning, once the sun comes up, it starts to warm up, yank that off, and this should be it. We're knocking on wood somewhere. High pressure's right over us. As it slides east, that opens the door to warmer weather. So tomorrow's a gorgeous day. We'll start to see a few high clouds, and eventually that unsettled weather that's out to our west ends up sliding our way for Thursday and Friday. But it's a really nice day tomorrow. Back into the lower 70s, lots of sunshine. Thursday, I think we can put the sunglasses away. We'll be looking at showers rolling in, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. No real indication here heading Thursday into Friday that we would see severe weather at this point locally, but a few rumbles of thunder certainly possible. And Friday, you're going to see waves of showers rolling on through the area. Potentially some downpours from time to time. Overall, between now and Saturday night, we're looking at somewhere around an inch of rain. The good news is by Saturday, later in the day into Saturday night, most of it looks like it pushes out, and that allows us to at least get a dry Sunday. So at least one day. We'll go into May with one dry day on the first day, and then the next 5 days after that next week, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. So April showers bringing May showers along with a few flowers as we head into next week.
Lots of showers. All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Well, a star Cardinal pitcher had to leave the game early tonight. The Blues are in Colorado, and we are going to relive a great Count of Monte Cristo revenge story in Cardinals history. You gotta hear this. Because of an assortment of injuries, Jordan Hicks has only been able to throw 38 innings the past 3 seasons. You would think from this point on, the baseball gods would be good to him. Well, think again.
Up the middle, off of Hicks. Donovan is there, and he'll step on the bag. And on his
Hicks stayed in the game for a bit, but Dominic Smith's rocket caused Hicks to leave the contest in the third. X-rays negative, a right wrist contusion. Okay, this has nothing to do with the game, but it's the best 2-shot cutaway I got. Max Scherzer giving tips to Jack Flaherty, who's getting closer to a return. I like this youngster, 23-year-old Andre Palante. The Italian stallion went 3, allowed no earned runs. Remember that name. This is ugly. Cody Whitley hits Pete Alonso in the head. Alonso didn't like it a bit, and the benches did empty for a moment. But the bigger story is the Cardinals can't hit. They've scored in 2 of the last 27 innings. Tonight, 3 hits, 9 Ks. Mets win 3-0. So the Blues are in Colorado tonight. They're trying to win the home ice advantage versus the Wild. And Colorado is trying to win the President's Trophy against Florida. And you just have a feeling this won't be the last time these two teams see each other. David Perron was a late scratch with a lower body injury. Scoreless, and then Valerie Natushkin will beat Jordan Binnington. Colorado led this game at one time 3-0. But Brandon Saad will get a power play goal in the second, and right now it's 3-1 Avalanche after 2. Game 5, Memphis hosting Minnesota. Game tie, dying moments. Ja Morant slithers to the hole for the game winner with 1 second left, and Memphis wins a thriller, 111 to 109.
Richardson pops up. The Cardinals are the new world champions. Gibson, Boyer, and McCarver join in a big bear hug.
What a year it was for the Cardinals in 1964. They were 6.5 games out of first place with 13 games to play. And keep in mind, no divisions, no wild cards. You had to win the pennant to make the World Series, and this team did it. Well, tonight at the library on Euclid, Lef Bank Brooks brought in 2 authors of a new and exciting book about the 64 Cardinals. Former 5 on Your Side sportscaster Ron Jacober and Robert Tiemann have done some nice work. 162 pages with incredible photos. Look at this one of Bob Gibson with the Corvette for winning the World Series MVP award. The best story, though, may have been about the manager and his revenge, Johnny Keane.
He knew in September he was going to quit because he heard the rumor that Gussie Busch brought Leo DeRocher secretly to St. Louis and was going to name him the next manager. There's no crying in baseball, but there's no secrets in baseball either. And Keane found out about it. So he wrote his resignation in September. His wife typed it and didn't do anything with it, didn't tell anybody. Gussie tried to give him a new contract at the end of the regular season, and Keane said, oh, let's wait till after the World Series. After the World Series, they called his news conference to give Johnny Keane a new contract. He handed Gussie Busch his resignation.
And how about this? The same day that Keane resigned, October 16th, the Yankees, who the Cardinals beat in that World Series, fired their manager, Yogi Berra. And guess who the Yankees hired? Yes, Johnny Keane. How about that for sweet revenge?
Great story.
You think your boss is going to fire you? No, I'm going to fire you. And that's what he did.
All right, Frank, thanks.
It's America's fastest growing sport, and it's scoring new business in St. Charles.
Your summer vacation plans could be grounded. Southwest Airlines is cutting more than 8,200 flights in the month of June. At St. Louis Lambert International Airport, around 500 June flights have been canceled. The most affected destinations include Boston, Cleveland, Las Vegas, Chicago Midway, and Fort Myers, Florida.
America's fastest growing sport, pickleball, is inspiring new business in St. Charles. It's called Chicken in Pickle. It features a restaurant, 6 indoor courts, 4 open air courts, a retail and a micro kitchen, an open yard area. It will open later this year along the Missouri River near the streets of St. Charles. What an exploding area. I learned to play pickleball. I'm learning this week. It's really fun.
It is really a lot of fun. We played with Frank Cusimano and his wife, and
I hear she's very competitive.
She is very competitive and very good. Better than Frank, as a matter of fact.
Go Monique.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
His guest tonight, Elizabeth Moss. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4:30 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.